The city's concrete veins pulsed with a rhythm all their own, a steady hum of life that often overlooked the quietest heartbeats. Among them was Arthur, a man whose home was the sprawling urban landscape itself. With a large, durable sack slung over his shoulder, he moved through the streets not as a wanderer, but as a guardian of forgotten things. His day was a meticulous ritual of collecting recyclables, each can and bottle a small treasure. He didn't just take, he gave back, tidying a spilled bin here, sweeping stray leaves there. His sack grew heavier as the hours passed, a testament to his diligence and the quiet pride he took in his work. He was a silent steward of the city's cleanliness, finding a semblance of order amidst the chaos. His routine was interrupted by the small, piercing cry of a child. A bright red ball had slipped through the grates of a storm drain just out of reach. Without a second thought, Arthur set down his precious sack, his entire day's earnings, and knelt down. With practiced patience, he maneuvered a long stick, coaxing the toy back to the surface and into the child's grateful hands. A smile was his reward. But when he turned back, his heart plummeted. The sack, the culmination of his long day's labor, was gone. A void stood where his purpose had been just moments before. A wave of cold despair washed over him, more biting than the city wind. He scanned the street, his eyes darting through the crowds, searching for any sign of his belongings. But the river of people flowed on, indifferent. He checked behind dumpsters, peered down alleyways, his hope dwindling with each empty corner. The bustling city, once a source of his livelihood, now felt like a vast, uncaring witness to his loss. Defeated, Arthur sank onto a park bench, the weight of his misfortune pressing down on him. The world continued its frantic pace around his bubble of stillness and silence. For a long moment he sat motionless, a statue of hopelessness. But then something stirred within him. It wasn't hope, not yet, but a flicker of defiance against the crushing weight of despair. He rose from the bench and walked to a corner of the park, where litter had gathered like fallen leaves. With no sack to fill and nothing to gain, he began to clean. He picked up discarded wrappers, old newspapers, and empty cups, arranging them into a neat pile. He worked not for reward, but for the simple, grounding act of bringing order to a small patch of chaos. Across the way, from the window of a warm, inviting cafe, the owner watched this quiet act of integrity, a man with nothing giving everything he had. The cafe owner, moved by what he had witnessed, stepped out into the crisp air. He approached Arthur not with pity, but with respect. In his hands, he held a steaming plate of food and a cup of hot coffee. He offered it to Arthur, along with a proposition, a small paid job to sweep and keep the area outside his cafe clean each morning. Arthur looked up, his eyes meeting the owner's. He accepted with a quiet nod and a gratitude that needed no words. It was more than a meal or a job. It was a recognition of his worth, a restoration of his dignity, earned through an act of purpose when he thought all was lost.